Hey guys, this is Urban Surfer. This is my first poker training video, and I am also starting to offer coaching. So if you're interested after watching this video, if you like what you see, then email me at urbansurferpoker@gmail.com. And if you just want any more information on that, also I'm going to be offering some premium video training content. So email me for that as well if you're interested in that. Let me give you a little bit of background. For those that don't know and don't follow the 2+2 thread. Before poker, I graduated from UT at Austin with a bachelor's in business, and I got a graduate degree in advertising. Ended up working in advertising for a little bit out of school, decided it wasn't for me, and then started working in IT and mortgage application support. Became an IT manager for a major bank. Worked there for the last 9 years or so. And married. I've got a 4-year-old boy, and then we've got another one on the way. And we're saving up for a down payment for our second house now. So that's what the 2+2 thread's about. Here it is right here, in case you're interested. So that's the title of it right there. I normally like to start off a session with hand history review, but since you guys don't have any background of any of the hands, I'm not going to do that for this first video. But this is just kind of an example of my notation. There's the date, and then I'll list out the hand number, and just some of my thought process during the hand that I won't remember if I just go back and look at the hand history itself. So this is obviously just a very I just made this up. It's a very vanilla, very obvious hand here, but just to kind of give you a feel for how I do it. It may seem archaic to you. I like to keep things pretty simple myself. So while I'm making this video, I'll do my best to try to jot down any hands that end up being interesting, and that way we can look them up the next video. We'll have to see how challenging it is while talking and playing and trying to do that, but that's my goal, so we'll see. Also, give me feedback. Email me or respond in the thread or PM me on 2+2. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to make these videos any better. First thing I think I need to invest in probably is a better mic, maybe like a USB mic. In some of my test runs, it hasn't sounded that great. So let me know if you agree or if there's anything else you think I can improve on. I should probably give you my poker background as well. So I've been playing for about 10 years now, semi-professionally. And I've started out playing sit and goes for a while. Just played pretty much ABC poker back in '03, back during the boom, the moneymaker boom, and made a decent amount of money doing that. But then eventually hit a plateau after a couple of years. Wasn't really, making a whole lot. And then started looking at different training videos on sites like cardrunners.com, Stocks Poker, things like that. And eventually expanded my knowledge of the game. I went from playing a really nitty tag style to now what I play today, a pretty lag, loose aggressive style. So you'll see that hopefully when we're playing, when I'm playing some hands here in a moment. Throughout my poker career, I've made about a little over 100,000 now. Year to date, I've made about 22 grand. And again, that's playing about 20 hours a week or so, and playing anywhere from 2 tables of zone or 4 tables of the regular 6 max. So today I'm going to focus on zone. I'll be playing, this is my normal stake. I'll be playing 1-2. And the max you can play is 2 tables, so that's what I'll be playing. You'll notice this down here, this is Hold'em indicator. just disappeared because I launched the table, but that's a HUD. There it is. That's a HUD that I use, and I just realized I need to turn off the sound for you guys. There we go. That's the HUD that I use, even on Zone, wherever. That's, for those that don't know, that's the fast-paced poker. Bovada's version of that. Even though there's literally no reads that I can have on anybody, well, not literally, I'll get into that a little bit, but I don't have anything except for assumptions that I can base any reads off of. I'd like to use it just to keep track of my own tendencies throughout the session, and then also, obviously, to keep track of my my net profit. Find out why the other table didn't launch. But I launched 2 tables, but I was buying for the maximum. It doesn't cooperate a whole lot when you have the HUD running. You have to raise 100% of the time, pretty much in that spot there. I do have a big stack there. They do have, they're most likely a thinking player. I should have called there, but I timed out. Okay, so I hit my card, obviously. I'm not going to check here because I think they'll check back. I'm going to continue to try to represent a big hand here. And a lot of times they'll call me down with 2 pair, things like that. That's not the greatest card for me there. But it's likely, it's unlikely that he has. I've got to at least put in a bet here. And if I get raised, I'll think about folding. But you could have ace queen, you could have queen X, you could have ace jack, some sort of hand that he just doesn't give me credit for and will at least call me down with. But if I get raised there, anything more than a min raise, even a min raise, at least think about laying it down there. But it is battle of the blinds, so it's pretty unlikely that he would have me beat there. So opening the cutoff with pocket 3s, that's pretty standard for the way I play. I'm going to see bet this flop with almost all of my range. I get called. I think there's a lot in his range here that I can continue with and represent. I think he has a lot of smallish pairs there. We'll float some. If I get called again, then I would give up on the river. But again, I raised there in the small blind with pretty much 100% of my range. I know on the button I raised with 100%, but this would be a kind of an interesting squeeze spot here, but he's so short that it doesn't make any sense at all. Actually, I thought that was suited, so I misread that. So never mind. Disregard that. It's too weak to call with. I could sometimes 3-bet that there because I think the cutoff is people are raising super light. Not quite as light as the button, obviously, but still super light on these zone tables. So I could even be doing it almost out of value, but I didn't at that time. Okay, here I'm going to raise, with this value hand all the time. Obviously, a couple 2 weaker players. I'm going to practice what I preached earlier about raising light from the cutoff, and I'll just play a little bit cautiously if I get called, which I did. See bet here, I've got overcards and then of course I hit my miracle card there. I don't want to scare them away. Against a reg, I would bet it harder, but against a fish, I can take this line and most likely get paid off here. Here I've got top pair, but I got called by two spots, so I'm going to check it back. Do a little bluff catching. This one, since it went to showdown, I'll be able to see what it was. Again, I'm going to check this back. No use betting there. I'll only get called by worse, most likely. And I probably will contemplate calling a bet on the river. Okay. I don't know if there's any value, honestly, in betting this either. This is pretty nitty, but I'm going to check it back. The reason why is I thought worse queen, or any queen that they have, they would have checked the king when it came on the turn, and then they might have even had the discipline to check on the river. Or I don't know that any worse calls a bet on the river. So I'm going to defend here because they're opening quite wide here, and they're going to represent that. They're going to try to represent that ace every single time, so that gives me good value. Pretty much every single time. There we go. Sometimes I'll raise here and just take it down, but I'll let him barrel too. That's a great card for me. I'm going to lead out for half pot and kind of make him make a decision on this hand. Make him think that I'm wanting to keep the pot small there as well. Okay, so he could have a weakish ace here. I'm going to make it look a little bit bluffy and bet almost full pot here. And I think I'll get looked up by a lot of aces here. I don't think any jacks, but and he caught a better two pair on the river, so nothing I can do about that. Let's see if I can find that other hand that we wanted to find out what that guy had and what he paid me off with. For those that don't know, hands that don't go to showdown, you can look up within 24 hours. I'm going to 3-bet there with ace-jack suited. It's pretty much out of value. I know that he's raising under the gun, but it's a min raise. A lot of times that is pretty weak. I did get called in 2 spots. I'm going to go ahead and continue with that flop. You called in 1 spot there. I don't think. I'm going to check it back. I feel like he has jacks there. Put in a little smallish value bet. Get paid off by jacks, maybe queens, but he could be floating with ace king and ace queen, which would make this a horrible value bet too, by the way. But okay, so that's a close value bet on the. It's fairly thin. You know, I'm guessing since he called, he probably had jacks, or maybe he had eights. I don't see a lot of folks calling 3-bets out of position with eights, but maybe we'll find out in a second once get caught up here. Okay, so the other hand, he called me literally. Oh, okay, no, he did hit 2 pair on the river, but still, just a weak play there, pretty much. And we got full value off of that. So let's find out what this guy just paid me off with. I'll raise this up here. Again, this may be looser than a lot of you guys are used to. This is. Whenever I got an open limping under the gun, I want to punish him and isolate, basically. I did get called by a short stack here. That's unfortunate. It's going to really limit what I can do here. I'm going to float here. I have to check back here. It's just a waste. If I c-bet that, the short stack's going to go with any pair from what I've seen. Just no use in betting. Even here. No, I'm not going to attempt to float any further here with the other guy in the hand. It's not the greatest flop either to represent anything, so. So yeah, there's no way he was folding there. Sometimes playing optimally means, not giving away any of your chips when your opponent's trying to get you to do that. That's sometimes the way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to open here. That is larger than a standard stack, so consider him to be a thinking player most likely. I'm going to continue on the flop. I still need to check that other hand once it comes up. Okay, and he just let it go. He probably didn't have a spade in his hand, and sometimes they will concede fairly easily, which is, again, makes raising almost 100% of the range when it folds down to the small blind so profitable. This is probably the lightest that I'll open. I can barely consider it value range. It's almost more of a bluff, but let's see here. The guy had 10-8 suit. He called it out of position. Min raised under the gun with that, and then called a 3-bet out of position. Not, in my opinion, the greatest play, but and he paid me off in the river. Again, this is Urban Surfer. Enjoy your feedback, comments. If you're interested in coaching or the premium training videos, then please email me at urbansurferpoker@gmail.com. Thanks.